Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Uranus Sextile or Trine one's natal Neptune. Now, when you have this transit, it could manifest in goals, aspirations, friendships, one's future, freedom, and independence, being in harmony with one's dreams and fantasies. Now, I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. The thing is, it could be very auspicious for trying to attain a goal or aspiration that's associated with one's dream or fantasy. If you have the natal Neptune in Scorpio, as an example, it could be tied in with, it could be locksmithing, psychology, the occult, which includes astrology. It could be investigation. It could be something connected with forensic science, as some examples. This is a time where your future and what you dreamt about, maybe for your future, maybe you can manifest it into an actual reality. And it's a good blending of idealism in your future at this time, what you want ideally for your future, but not being unrealistic in the process. And this is where I would say too, where friends and people that are prominent in groups, clubs, and organizations, they could be very beneficial for you for the attainment of those dreams and fantasies and things that are ideal for you. If you have, like, say, let's take this example. If Neptune is in Capricorn in your fourth house, it could be simply having structure and discipline in your home life, and that could be something that you may feel is attainable, more so at this time. And I should say, your friendships may be beneficial in helping you and assisting you, whether it's giving you some insight into that or what have you. And this is a time too where the future is something for you where you may be very, inspired to go after at this point in time. And even like just Uranus related subjects in general, whether it could be innovation, astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, aviation, meteorology, those things will provide, you may have more inspiration to really be involved in those things more so than you ordinarily would at this time. And it's a time as well where I would say friendships, could be more beneficial to you in matters that are connected, deception or duplicity. If you've been, victimized by some kind of fraud or something, this is the time where the friendships can be there, at the very least, I would say, to console you and be very supportive of you and trying to assist you in those matters at this point in time, more so than they ordinarily would. And it's also a time where you have more of that freedom to pursue dreams and fantasies. It's a time where I would say you're less likely to have obstructions or some kind of diversion or distraction in order to do this. This could be a time where you can kind of have it could be your seclusion, your isolation, and friends could respect that more so than usual, and understand that you might need that time for that alone, that downtime and solitude and seclusion, and those people can be more respectful of that at this time more so than they ordinarily would. This is, another way this transit could manifest. Okay, this could be a time where you can have really more freedom, really free yourself up if you're having any issues that are anatomically connected with Neptune, for example, the feet, the toes, the pineal gland, the immune or lymphatic system. This is a time where you can have more of that, I would say, that opportunity, that freedom, so to speak, to take care of those issues at this time. And it's something where if you've been procrastinating or hesitating on any of those matters that I described that are anatomically connected with Neptune, this is the time where you have a better chance to do something about it, because it's more about having your own freedom, your independence, not being not being confined or inhibited by somebody else's needs at this time, and you're more of that free bird to be able to take care of those matters more so than usual at this point in time. And it's also a time as well where it's really where it could be an auspicious time for having that goal, that aspiration, or even the future is positive for dissolving or dissipating something. If it's like, say you have your natal Neptune in the seventh house, it could be a marriage situation, could be something with a significant other. Maybe there's a problem with an open adversary or legal opponent that you need to dissolve, so to speak. And this is the time where you can do that. And I would say, the difference between like having Neptune or Pluto. I mean, between Neptune and Pluto, I mean, I know they sound similar because Neptune is like dissolving an issue. Pluto is like obliterating. I would say Neptune is more gradual because it's dissolving, it's dissipation. Pluto is something where you may be able to end something completely and quickly, and really just completely wipe it out right away. As opposed to Neptune is a little bit more gradual, I'd say, is the difference. Now, this is also a time where friendships can be beneficial to you if there's some kind of confusion in your life, or you're not sure of something is nebulous or unclear. And if you're somebody, well, you're obviously into astrology if you're seeing this video, so it could be a time where even astrologers can be beneficial to you if you're dealing with something that's obscure or nebulous or unclear in your life at this present time of this transit. And also too, if you're a person, if you're by any chance you're seeing this video and you have any issue with some kind of drug or alcohol addiction, this could be a time where friendships, even acquaintances maybe, or even groups, clubs, and organizations, this is the time where those people can be more advantageous to help you. It's a time where I would say could be very positive for reaching out on those matters at this point in time. And the thing about this too is Neptune is also connected with imprisonment and incarceration. So this is also a time where, it doesn't necessarily have to be, it may not be you that's incarcerated. This could reflect somebody that's prominent in your life. And this is the time where you might be able to get help for this person, for through something group related, even if you're just somebody's that is in prison and they need like a few bucks, they put something on, I don't know if it's like a debit card or something. This is the time where maybe your friendships might be able to help you out if you're short on funds for something like that, as an example. And again, Neptune being connected with isolation, this is the time where you might be able to better plan for your future in solitude, seclusion, or isolation. It's also a time where you can free yourself up, freedom to do things, in your own solitude, and not being likely not being disturbed, by other people at this point in time. And this is also a time where you can be. It could be a time where you may be able to sacrifice more, for your friendships at this time, or friendships themselves may be able to show a lot of sacrifice to you at this point in time. And this is also a time too and it's also about forgiveness. This is a very good aspect for that, for friendships, for people that are prominent in groups, clubs, and organizations. You're having a positive relationship being made between the planet Uranus, which is about friendships, groups, clubs, organizations, and Neptune, which is about forgiveness. So anyway, well, another way this transit could manifest, it could be about friendships, which is Uranus. Again, could be beneficial to your dreams. I'm going to reiterate what I said before with an example. Let's say, for example, if your natal Neptune is in Aquarius in the 6th house, those dreams may be connected with computer or astrology, which is Aquarius. Could be service, which is the 6th house. And also, too, goals and aspirations, which is Uranus. You may have more inspiration, which is Neptune, to attain. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back, but anyway. Now, let's say, for example, if Uranus is in Taurus, in the 5th house, it could be something with endurance, which is Taurus, sports, which is the 5th house, such as long distance running. And I would even include weightlifting in that, because weightlifting could be something that someone can do in a very methodical manner and kind of pace themselves, rest up between each set. So another thing too is that another way this transit may be expressed, it could be where clubs, which is Uranus, can be more in harmony and agreement with your ideals, which is Neptune. If Neptune is in Sagittarius in the 11th house, as an example, it could be those ideals can include goodwill, which is Sagittarius too. It could be too doing something, you know, toward it could be your friends, as an example, or toward humanitarian, just being humanitarian in general, which is the 11th house. And also, this could be an opportune time to have that freedom, which is Uranus, to help the less fortunate, which is Neptune. Let's say, as another example, as an example, if Neptune is in Aquarius in the 12th house, it could be through tech labs, which is Aquarius, to inner city, less fortunate, which is the 12th house children. And this is just another way, you know, this transit could be expressed as well. It could be the positive for the future, and it could just simply be in sacrificing for others in general. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.